Whenever someone tells someone else that they lift, the first question they always come back with is, what is your bench? Now, a strong bench press indicates you've probably got good upper body strength, and in a contact sport like rugby league, being stronger than your opponent gives you an upper hand in every single tackle, whether in attack or defense. So, I'm going to teach you a trick that's really going to help accelerate your bench press growth. But first, let me tell you a scenario we see all the time here at League Fit Academy. We have a young rugby league player. Let's call him Huss. Now, Huss decides he wants to see how far he can take his game. So he commits to getting as big and as strong as possible. Fantastic, right? He goes, joins up to his local gym, could be an Anytime Fitness or a Plus, whatever it happens to be, right? That's great. So he rocks up on his first day, goes into the weight room and he's like, I'm a front row forward, so I'm going to become a beast on the bench press, because obviously playing in the front row in rugby league means you need to be an expert at pushing people around, right? So he's like, I'm going to smash bench. Huss walks over to the bench, loads it up, and he hits 5 sets of 10. Why? Well, his best mate, let's call him Mick, who never fails to miss International Chest Day at the gym. And for the uninitiated, International Chest Day is every single Monday, typically at about 6 p.m. at virtually every mainstream gym on the planet. Anyway, I digress. So let's come back to Huss. His mate Mick, big arms, big chest, said, bro, hit 5 sets of 10, bro. That's what I did, and look at me. So that's exactly what our enthusiastic young front rower Huss does. Does he improve? Absolutely. But after a very short period of time, that improvement starts to slow down and then even stops. And not only that, but Huss's shoulders start to get messed up. We've seen it all the time. This is a common story. He starts getting pain whenever he tries to lift his arm up above shoulder height, and then the next thing he's actually starting to get shooting pain on the outside of his shoulder whenever he benches. Super common. But it doesn't have to be this way. If Huss had spoken to someone other than Mick, the guy with the big arms and the big chest, if he'd spoken to someone with knowledge and experience, someone who had actually trained hundreds of young guys to get bigger and stronger, I can guarantee you that what they would have said is you've got to balance out your horizontal pressing with vertical pressing. So, what's vertical pressing? Well, vertical pressing is one of the 4 main movement patterns that your upper body program must be based around, period, full stop, end of story. Those 4 movement patterns are your horizontal push, your horizontal pull, your vertical push, and your vertical pull. You must base your programming around those 4 movement patterns, and you should be performing an equal amount of volume in each of those movement patterns. And by volume, I mean sets and I mean reps, right across those 4. But what we're talking about here today is the above head press, right? So this means that if Huss was following old Mick's advice, doing 5 sets of 10 on the bench, then he also needs to be performing 5 sets of 10 reps on a vertical pressing movement, or in layman's terms, like a shoulder press or a military press. Essentially, any movement where the arms, bottom of the position here at the movement, they go up and then they come back down again, okay? In fact, not only should he be performing an equal volume of sets and reps, but he should be looking to get his vertical or his above head pressing strength at a certain percentage of what his bench press is. The numbers we use at League Fit here are 30%. So what that means is you should be able to handle about 30% of your bench press in each hand for 8 to 10 reps in a seated dumbbell shoulder press exercise. If Huss can bench 100 kilos for 1 rep, we call that his 1 rep max. 30% of that, obviously, is 30 kilos. So the test for us then is, can he perform 8 to 10 reps with 30 kilo dumbbell in each hand? That's the goal. The secret sauce, the trick. Do not neglect overhead pressing. In fact, you may need to perform even more volume for the overhead press than you do for the horizontal press, which is the bench press, right? So test it out for yourself. Test your bench, use a spotter obviously, but test your bench and find your 1RM. Once you've got that number, have a rest for about 5 minutes, then take 30% of your bench press in dumbbells in each hand and try and do a seated dumbbell shoulder press for 8 to 10 reps. If you don't hit it, that's fine. Have another rest. Rest again for 3 to 5 minutes, grab a lighter weight and try again. Once you know what the difference is, simply go to work on getting strong in that above head movement and watch your bench press start to skyrocket. Trust me, because I'm Joe and Joe knows.